Okay, I'm back. I found my old man and my old man in the sea paper that I was looking for, and then I went and got these feathers, and I thought we could make a couple feathers maybe look like seagull feathers. These are Tim Holtz die cuts. And I thought maybe we could use some inks and color these to look like seagulls. So now, how do I want to arrange this? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do first is put some of this book page down in the background, and it is very brittle. And so it could only be used as a background because it's just very old and very brittle. So we're going to start with that and see what we can put together here. Belle's talking to you guys. Oops, I thought I felt like I had 2 pages there. So I went to go get that stuff, and I'm rushing around like a crazy person trying to get it. I do that when I pause the video and go get something, and then every time I realize it doesn't matter how long you take, it's still going to be the same amount of time for the people watching. You don't have to rushing around like a crazy person. Do you all do that? It's like I'm holding you up. Alright, so basically what we're doing is we're just kind of collaging the background for this pocket. And again, I want to keep in mind that actually I think I'm going to go ahead and poke the holes so I know where they're going to be. So I'm just going to kind of lay this up against here and kind of evenly space it top and bottom and put a little mark where my holes need to be. So I need one about there and one about there. Then I can go ahead and poke them in there, and I'll know where they are if I could see where I made my marks. Alright, so I'm going to use excuse my reach, regular size hole punch, and hope that this one goes through. If not, I'll get the crocodile out. So I need one about right there. And then, where's my other dot? I lost my other dot. Just trying to be so careful making it light that I can't see where I made it. Right there. Excuse me. Okay, that's gonna work. Alright, so now I know where my holes are gonna be, so I don't put anything there that's gonna get it too covered up. Alright, so let's ink around this. What do I want to use? I think I'm going to use Vintage Photo in this case. Or do I want to use? Yeah, I think I'm going to use vintage photo. I think I'm going to put this more over here. Something like that. Okay, so this one, I'll tear around the edges. And I don't mind that I have to re-poke that hole. I just don't want to put anything important that's going to have a hole poked in it. Get that pretty close to the edge. Okay, and then this here. And then let's tear this. See if I can get it torn on all 4 edges without tearing it up. Okay, and I'm going to crumble this up a little bit. And then ink it really well so it looks a little older. you hear something that sounds like thunder, my dogs have the zoomies. They're chasing each other. Okay, so those are going to go right there. Pick them up. Okay, now we need to address down here where their feet are showing. And I think what I'm going to do for that is... Hey. No noise. Oh, you know what I might do is use some embossing powder. Embossing glaze. No, I think what I'm gonna do is just use my Stabilo. Because I would like to bring out some of this down here as well. And then I'm gonna do this. And maybe some under the tail right there. And then I'm going to take my watercolor pen, watercolor pen, and just wet that. And when you wet a Stabilo All, it acts like kind of like a watercolor, and you can spread it out. Just like that. And I missed that corner right there. Missed that whole top edge, didn't I? Okay, so now let's ink around the whole exterior of this. Oh, I need to cut that too, to the shape of the folder. Okay, now. And I'm going to re-poke this hole. Okay, let's ink this part. Okay, and I want to put a little notch right here just to indicate that it's a pocket, because it's going to be a side loading pocket. So I'm going to put a little notch here, just enough so you can tell there's going to be a card in there. Alright, so now we need to address the tab, and we need to do something along this straight line right there and break it up a little bit. The feather, we could do the feather, but I was kind of thinking the feather could hang off the tab, or be down here somewhere. Or right there might be okay. I think I have a compass rose. Yes. So let's stamp that like up in here. If I can figure out which way is north on this. I don't think it really matters. I don't think they're big enough that you can tell. I'm trying to decide if I want it black. I think I do. Let me see how that. Alright, so north would be here. I'm going to wipe these corners off so I'm not getting those edges. Now I flipped it around and I don't know where north is. Again, I think it's this way. There we go. Alright, so now let's do some coloring on our feathers. I think we want a kind of a gray color, and then some more white toward the end, or do we want it the other way around? All right, let's do the veining. A dark gray. Actually, I may use, I'm very indecisive today. I've got some picket fence spray stain. See what happens. I haven't used this in a while. It may not come out. A little bit. There we go. Just going to use my fingers. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my distress inks over here. Let's try Lost Shadow, which is a very light gray. If I can get the lid off. Oh, come on. Where? There we go. That didn't want to come off. I'm going to smush them on my acrylic block here that I use for that. You can tell that I use it for that. And take my water brush. Let me see. All right, and then we need a darker color. Let's do Hickory Smoke. Kind of do around the edges. And I'm also going to use that color for the veins. There it is. I was like, if I can find it. Let's put a little bit more. Needs to be a little darker. And by the way, this also counts as a file folder. I did cut the dies out of a file folder. And remember, you don't necessarily have to make a file folder for this challenge. You can use file folder as your substrate. So if you want to make a tag, or you want to make whatever you want to make with your file folder, is fine. The idea is to just use a file folder, or to make a file folder, whatever suits you. So I'm using black soot right here on the tips of these. Just kind of highlight around the edges a little bit. And I may actually use black soot on this, because this isn't coming out dark enough for me. And I think probably on the seagull they're probably white, but I want it to stand out a little more, so. And then I think I'll take some more of the picket fence. I'm going to spray it on my acrylic block this time. Just kind of blend all that out. Okay, now I'm going to zap it with the heat tool for just a second. And then we'll glue the veins onto the feather part. I'll set my acrylic block over there so I can clean it after the video. Okay. And we'll use art glitter glue. I got some spray stain on my mat. That's a shocker, because that never happens. This would probably be easier with a pair of tweezers. So I didn't get that. Stem lined up very well, but that's okay. We'll just cut it off if I can't get it lined up. Okay, put some glue there. And then I'm going to ink around the edges. There's our feather. Now we just need to decide where we want it. We also could put it on the picture to kind of tie the picture in with the rest. I really want to break that line up. But I don't like the idea of putting it there. I like the idea of putting it here, I think. This is a tough one, guys. I think I'm going to reserve the right for a minute. That may not be what I want at all after I did all that, but it'll be used somewhere in the journal. What are we going to do here? Maybe we can use a piece of the monster's back. If you hear stomping around. Maybe a label. And then I need to put something here. Let's see what I have in these little... in the stamp book that's neutral. So we can use the browns. We can use there's grays. For greens. I don't really see anything in here that's tickling my fancy too much. That's not bad. All right, let's think around this one and use it. Okay, and I think I'm going to put that right there. Okay, and then what? All right, we got to make our card out of this. Okay, first let's put some book page right here. Just so that little inside that circle has something there. Do we want it that way or do we want it this way? Okay, let's keep it this way since we have everything else upside right. We'll keep this upside right. Okay, now for the tab. I feel like the tab, I want some more of this paper, and I know I had some left with the numbers on it. What did I do with it? Here, paper, paper. Okay, I'll find that in a minute. Got that. I don't really have anything on it. It does have Old Man in the Sea very, very faintly in the background, and you probably can't see that in the camera, but it does have like an old sailor with, you know, the sailor hat on. Okay, so if this is going to go in like this, then I'm going to take a little bit off this edge. Let's, I am suddenly all discombobulated. Where, looking for my tear ruler, and it's right there in front of me. Alright, so I want to get the whole lighthouse for sure, and I want to try and tear a straight line. Hold down your ruler, Tammy, while you're doing this, and it will work so much better. Okay, and then if I stick this in here, like that, make sure I have enough room for my holes here. So to about right there. So I'm going to make a little mark, and I'm going to say I want to tear it about right there. That's going to give me the whole lighthouse, which was what I want to do. Okay, and I'm not worried about tearing this straight because I'm going to cut a piece of file folder to put on the back, and it's going to be straight. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I can tear this top little slither. And it'd probably help if I get this piece of paper off the back of my ruler. Here we go. Alright, so if I take a piece of file folder and glue this on. Okay, now I'll take the decal trimmer and even it all up. And sorry guys, I know this thing makes terrible noise. And you cut with it. Okay, so I'm going to ink around it. And this will be just a little journal card that's going to go down in the pocket. And I still do not see that little scrap of paper. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to put this here with the numbers. Then we'll be ready to close up our pocket and put our little card in there and we'll be done. Got a little bit of an overhang right there. I'm going to just trim it off. No biggie. Ink that. Okay, so I'm going to close up the pocket. I'm going to close it here and here so we have a pocket here. I'm not going to worry about running glue here because it's going to be on the binder. So that will be just fine. I could run one here. So that my tag wouldn't interfere with my holes, but I think it's going to be fine. Or not my tag, but my journal card. Okay, and then my little file folder journal card will go right in here, like this. And you could put a tab on that if you wanted to. I'm not going to because there's a tab here, but you definitely could put one on there if you wanted. And I'm thinking I might want a little stamp right here, like a number. Of some sort. Something that would look kind of like a GPS coordinates or something like that would be cool. I don't have anything like that. I don't believe. So Can I fit this one? I think I can get that done in there. We're gonna try move it up here so you can see me mess it up if I don't get it in there. Yeah, it could have been a little higher, but I'm all right with that, just so it has something there. And then I may take the stable all again and go around this feather just a little bit, give it a little bit of a shadow. I'm looking for my watercolor pen. If you see it, yell. You know, I don't have 5 things sitting right here in front of me. It's not like I've got a big pile of stuff. It's usually stuff right in front of you, though, that you can't see, isn't it? I might put some splatters on there. Yep. Just as I thought. I really would like for that feather to be whiter. I may have to go in with some gesso or something and make that a little wider than it is. Let's try that. How long have we been going? Oh, I need to hurry, guys. Okay. Do I have a little brush? No, of course not. Because that would be too easy to have a little brush already in my water. And the reason I'm not worried about going over this whole thing with white is that the gesso is going to soak up the ink that's underneath it. So when it dries, you're actually going to see more variety. I'm also going to take some of this and kind of take it on some of these seams. I don't want to get too much. But just kind of blend those seams a little more. Okay. And like I said, when that dries, that gray will show through a little bit more. So for my last thing, I'm going to put a couple of hole reinforcers on here. And then we're going to call it quits. I've got some that are done in gray. And I just colored these with Distress inks. Not the oxides, but the inks. Mess that one up. I have to save that one for something else. Okay, I think that's got it. And I'm going to put some of this on here. I'm really not happy with that feather at the moment. But by the time I get done, it will either be gone or I'll be happy with it. One of the two. Okie doke, so there we go. There's our file folder with our little file folder journal card on the inside of the pocket. And that is ready to put in my little journal once I start putting it together. So I hope you enjoyed that. And again, if you want to participate, the hashtag is #nuttin' but neutrals, and you can post to social media, or you if you're participating, use this hashtag and everybody can see your work. Or if you just want to go and look and see what everyone else is doing, then you can look up this hashtag on YouTube or on Instagram, and you can see everybody else's makes. So that's it for this video, and I will be back on Thursday for I Saw It on Pinterest. Until then, I hope everybody has a great couple of days, and I'll see you back on Thursday. Bye.